The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into another episode of The Bostonian versus The Book. He's Dave Sharapan, The Book. Matt Perrault, The Bostonian, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, replay on Sports Grid TV, and coming on Tuesday, XM, channel 159 for the replay of BVB. Mr. Sharapan, welcome to football season. Week 1, starting tonight. How are you?
I'm like this right now. I'm just here
here.
so I don't get fined. That's it. It's another day, but I know how excited you are. I'm not going to quash your enthusiasm. It's opening night. You keep talking about how this is going to be one of the biggest rated games of the night of ever and all this other stuff.
No, is it the ratings tonight for Florida, Utah will be monster.
Will be, yes.
There's 4 baseball games. There's WNBA games. And there's a ranked college football game on a Thursday night. Yes, Utah, Florida will be a monster rated game.
Is there a WNBA game?
There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them tonight.
We'll probably be mentioning that tonight on Sports Grid when we go to do that. I didn't even realize that was a possibility. I'm actually as excited about the football games as I am about Strider and Lynn and the possible NLCS matchup.
Good game.
Starts in Dodger Stadium tonight. Got to learn a lot about that. So it's just another day. I've done this so many times. I'm excited for you and all the people in the brigade. And again, if you guys are excited to be here, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. All of that stuff. It's football season. You're right. It's football season right here.
Pete Futek, College Football News, will join us at in about 40 minutes or so from now. He'll stop on by to break down tonight, Friday, Saturday, week 1 of college football. Looking forward to talking to him from collegefootballnews.com. But before we get to what happened last night, something that did happen last night, just want to give a tip of the cap to Nebraska women's volleyball, who set the world record for attendance. These are pictures courtesy of the Associated Press from last night at Memorial Stadium, 92,003, which broke the world record for the largest, most attended female women's sporting event in the history of recorded sports. All for a volleyball match that Nebraska beat Nebraska Omaha 3-0 pretty easily. But pretty cool.
Cool moment.
Pretty cool.
Cool moment. I shared it with the kids and I got no response, which is, as I'm finding out as the kids get older, I don't know if they liked it, if they didn't, if they thought it was cool or they didn't. I did. Are they going to try to do this again? Like, is this a one-off?
This is a one-off, but it sounds like because of the attention that this received, that other Big Ten volleyball programs might very well be copying suit.
Well, people copy things. I mean,
so
this is
I've seen Wisconsin fans say we're next. I've seen Penn State fans say, wait, we're next, because there are stadiums in the Big Ten that have a larger capacity than Memorial Stadium. Namely Beaver Stadium at Penn State. They could put 105. So there's bigger stadiums, bigger opportunities to break the record. So Nebraska puts the flag down, says, okay, we hold the record. Now it's who comes next. Who will be the plans are in the works for other football stadiums to host volleyball matches at big volleyball schools.
It's pretty cool. Just think about, the first volleyball match that I went to a lot of the ones in high school because the girls that I dated in high school all played volleyball. So, and Jessica was a volleyball player. So she loves it. I learned to love it.
Do you know the largest, before this, the largest, most attended volleyball match was 18-5. I mean, if you're Nebraska and they're a young volleyball team, Nebraska's always, John Cook has built an absolute machine. It's incredible what he's changed the culture of an entire state. They all love Nebraska. As I said yesterday, the number 2 season ticket demand. Football's 1, not baseball, not basketball. Volleyball is 2 at Nebraska for season tickets. But if you're like a freshman or a sophomore on the Nebraska team, can you be like, you just played in front of 92,000 people?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to care about anything the rest of the year. Like, nothing's going to top that.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. That the next game after, you're like, oh, wow.
Right.
But they have energy in the building every time they have a home game. I'm sure their road games are probably pretty good too. And
yeah, that's pressure though, is it not? I mean, 92,000 people, that's a lot of pressure to go play and perform in front of.
You'd be amazed at those kids. They're so good at being able to just play. You have to take it in. That's what I hope. Ben Stevens tweeted it, and it was so apropos. Like, you never get a chance to do that walk out to that music, out of that tunnel as a volleyball coach or players like that.
No other team except the football program. The tunnel walk, for those of you guys don't understand.
Yeah.
The tunnel walk is the price of admission. People pay to go to Nebraska games just to watch the tunnel walk. Yeah. That in the balloon ceremony, when they score their first touchdown, they let go of all the balloons. 2 of the weirdest. I mean, the tunnel walk is cool. It's just, it's set to a song that was really popular in the 90s, and they haven't changed it. They're really the only school that that still uses the Bulls intro music, as their song Sirius. Yeah. That's the only, they've been doing it for, I don't know, at least 30 years, maybe more now. But the tunnel walk has been, that's a really big deal for Nebraska football fans when you go to the game. And the volleyball team did the tunnel walk last night.
Pretty cool. Very, very,
really
very,
cool.
Very cool. Yeah, that was good. I like
different, unique, a nice opportunity. And, we learned this with baseball, where teams are trying to find as many ways to use their stadiums as possible. So they put concerts in there. They've put football games in baseball stadiums. I mean, Fenway Park is used like for hockey. They haven't done basketball yet, but football and concerts as well as baseball being played at Fenway Park. I would assume that other football stadiums around the country are going to start to go, let's find other ways of making our, showcasing our sports.
Everybody's trying to find other ways to make revenue, and this is a good way. I mean, 92,000 at the gate, it's pretty good.
It's a lot of money, man. This is where your NILs come in and go, hey, what's going on with that? So,
yep.
Whoo, boy. So we'll watch that and see how
the chat is flowing already with all these college football plays. Like, everybody's
in
there talking about totals, and you're laying it with the Utes and first half UCF if you can get it. Man, oh man, it's just like, we just did all this baseball.
It doesn't
5 months, and it's
how
gone,
do you
boom,
not know
poof,
this?
Done.
Click. Goodbye.
Finished.
We're starting with baseball, but this is one of the last times we start with baseball in the fall. There won't be many others. Maybe in the World Series, we'll start with baseball.
The baseball playoffs we'll start with. There'll be some good betting opportunities.
There will be
compelling.
There will be, but the baseball playoffs will be up against a full slate of college and NFL games, so it'll be tough.
Oh my!
Just like it always does. It will get slid down the. To the bottom of the deck.
I have to fight you on these rundowns now. Can't wait for that.
Right. Rays have won 4 straight. They're only a game and a half back of the Orioles now. Should Baltimore be a little bit concerned here? They're making the playoffs, but you want that home playoff game. Home playoff series.
You got to get that. You got to get that. It's huge. So yes, they should be concerned. Yes, this is going to get interesting. Despite the fact that no one wants to talk about it. Yes, there's going to be compelling baseball being played. Starting tomorrow is September 1st. We're going to have a race in a bunch of different divisions in a bunch of different spots. Tampa's right there. I mean, would you be concerned if you're the Orioles?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the impact of Wander Franco being removed from the roster really didn't do all that much.
It's alarming that one of the best players on the team just can be zapped and nothing much changes.
Yeah, it really didn't.
Whew.
I thought there'd be a much bigger impact to the Rays roster. And I mean, he's got a second investigation open now. Like, he's gone. Like, that guy's never playing in baseball ever again. And it's just kind of like, really? So not even like a blink of an eye. Like, you're not even like at all concerned. Nope, we're good. Just keep on going. We're all good.
Boy, oh boy, the boys in the chat are like, what's baseball? I see
Yeah.
you, J. Dow Betts. Base who for Addison? Rainmaker's still watching baseball,
Right.
so that's good.
So the Braves set their single season. Oh, that's not worded correctly. Hold on. That's a double negative. It's single season, not single.
Single, right.
Single is what I am. The single season home run record on that for the
Put that out
Braves.
there?
I'm just teasing, we gotta have some fun with this stuff. Why not?
That's absolutely right.
It's true. It's the truth.
It is. It's what the show's about, the truth. Perrault single. No title shots, but he's single.
Don't want him right now.
Want none.
Not this weekend. Never. No.
Not this weekend.
No.
Not this fall. We got stuff we gotta take care of.
Well, check back on that later. But the Braves, we haven't hit September yet. They just hit more home runs than they've ever hit in a single season.
Yes.
Can this continue in the postseason? Everyone's saying that the playoffs are going to be totally different. This is a 1 through 9 lineup that can take you deep. Any guy in the order can take you out of the park. Do the Braves keep doing that in the playoffs? They score a lot of runs off of home runs. A lot of people always say if you score a lot of your runs with home runs in the postseason, you're in trouble.
It can be a problem. The good thing for the Braves is that they have it's not one guy. If Judge isn't hitting home runs for the Yankees, they don't hit home runs, right? The Braves are different. They're built different. They got multiple guys in the lineup in multiple spots that can hit home runs in almost any situation or at bat.
Right.
So, good pitching always beats good hitting. We've heard this since the beginning of time. But guys that hit home runs, lineups that hit home runs, of course, this could continue into October because it only takes one. It might be Riley. It might be Olsen. It might be Acuna. It might be Ozuna.
Mm-hmm.
The list just goes on and on and on and on and on. So
I can't wait to see what they finish with. They're going to put this record high up on a shelf. Like it's going to be tough to get there again ever for the Braves.
Right.
Got a month left.
I was just going to say, they still got a month to go.
Right.
And they still got to keep playing because, this series is a big series. A sweep here would put the Dodgers in line for the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're right there. So it's not like they can just shut it down the last 2 weeks and they won't, hit as many home runs or whatever. But my goodness gracious, this is chicks dig the long ball. That's right.
Who came up with that? I would love to find out what marketing meeting they're like. What would be a cool slogan? Chicks love the long ball.
Chicks dig the long ball.
What?
Great. Print it.
Use
Let's go.
Put it everywhere. Really? It's not like, no, it's fine. Go ahead. All right.
They
Speaking of
they do.
I do. But speaking of the Dodgers, they have won 24 games in August. They're 24-4. And they're dogs tonight at home against the Braves.
How do you come up with these things?
If they win tonight, they will set their single month win record for Dodger baseball. 25-4 in a month is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
24-5 is equally ridiculous. Win or lose tonight, winning 24 games in a month is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts is going to end the month of August with the second best batting average in Dodger history.
In a month?
In a month.
Are they peaking too early? That's the first question. That's the first question you hear in the content space, right? A lot of shows.
It's a fair question.
I'm not worried about the Dodgers.
At all. Okay.
At all. I think they'll be fine. You just have to set up the pitching the right way. I was talking a little bit about it with Morency on the show yesterday. Reyes, Kershaw, Lynn.
Oh.
Who's the other starter?
No, it's going to be Lynn. He's going to be a problem.
He's pitching great since he came over to the Dodgers. He's pitching really good.
So why are they home dogs? They're a home dog tonight to the Braves because of Lynn.
Because of Lynn's tendency to give up the long ball. This is the matchup. issue, right? The wrong team to have a guy who has a tendency to give up home runs. I don't want this guy pitching against the Braves. So that's why the Dodgers in October will have, depending on the matchup, a huge advantage, despite the fact that they are dogs tonight.
Unbelievable.
Well, should they be favored?
Yes.
No.
They're at home.
Strider can't be.
They're going to pick them then.
Well, when we eventually open up the BBB book, we will have that argument, and then we will put up the number. And if everyone else is at what is right now,
plus 120,
35 to 140. Wow, DraftKings just said the hell with it. They got minus 148 and plus 124. So move the dog way up and move the favorite way up and keep the dog at a
low.
Very unaffordable price. A 24-cent split, and the number's only minus 148. I'm worried about the future of this business. I just don't know at what point will they stop taking and make it. I don't even know what side you bet in that and feel good about it. Do you lay 148, which is the worst price on planet Earth, or do you take plus 124, which is arguably the market price? I don't know.
Yikes. No, I'm not frozen. I'm just thinking.
What are you thinking?
I want to take the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to win tonight.
8 is the total, but 8.5 is also the total. They're torn in between. How can a Braves game only be 8?
On the road, the Braves are an under team for the most part. Dodgers at home are really an under team.
Lynn,
true, but I would lean towards the under on that. The Mariners won their 21st game in August. That was a team record last night for them. How are you feeling about Seattle heading into September? Are they
fantastic race?
Are they peaking too early?
You could make that case, yes, but I love their pitching staff. And I don't know if I'm biased because the weekend that I was there, I saw Kirby, Castillo, and Gilbert.
Okay.
And I was so impressed, despite the fact that the Pirates hit 7 home runs the night I was there, or they combined for 7 home runs, both teams, with the night Kirby pitched. They're fine. I just think that they're dangerous from the wild card spot or the division spot. The other teams, Texas, I think, has to win the division and has to be able to set up their pitching staff after the first series.
Fair.
So in that division, the team I'm worried the least about, it's probably equal between Seattle and Houston. But Texas, definitely, I feel like they have to win the division to be a real threat in October. Are all 3 making the playoffs?
Yes.
All 3.
Yeah.
That eliminates one of those AL East teams.
Well, one's already gone, so there's only one.
We already buried Boston.
There's only one to eliminate. There's only one you got to worry about.
The Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So we could cross them off the list for the exactas. No, don't involve any Blue Jay prices.
I would not. No. Yeah, I think they're done.
Who's the other team then?
What do you mean? Rays, Orioles, Central, 2 wild cards out of the West.
That's it.
I think the American League is set. I think we know who's in.
That's it.
The National League is way more intriguing.
Yeah.
I think we're 2 weeks away from even having an idea as to who's going to be the National League wildcard teams.
Huh.
Nobody can afford to go cold.
There. Yeah.
They all need to be, everybody in the National League who's currently going after the wild card, they have got to keep playing. They cannot take any breaks whatsoever. You have from the Marlins at 66 and 67 who are really falling apart right now. But they're still only 3 games behind in the loss column to the Giants. So they're still there.
I mean, a couple big series this weekend. San Francisco is at San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs again today. I mean, it's undecided on my screen here, so I don't know who's pitching, but San Diego being favored you want to talk about having another perplexing moment. You're just like, what? Okay. Miami's got to sweep Washington.
Yeah,
This got to be minimum 3 or 4. But I mean, I think they're getting to the numbers where they got to start winning 4 in a row, 5 in a row. The ground's going to just disappear. They're running out of runway.
The good thing for them, for the Marlins, they have a really hard stretch coming up, but they end the year with a relatively easy run. So the Marlins will play the Washington Nationals right now. They've got to win 3 out of 4. Then they play the Dodgers for 3 at home. They're at the Phillies. They're at the Brewers. And then they're home for Atlanta. But after September 17th, they may
be done by then.
They might be, but they play 3 against the Mets, 3 against the Brewers at home, 3 on the road at the Mets, and they end the year at Pittsburgh. So
I'm going to go on a limb and say that last series in Pittsburgh, there's going to be good seats available.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. But you're talking about, 12 games right there. If they are within striking distance, that's where you could potentially, you could go a 9-4 and make up some ground. But you're right. They might be so far out of it by the time they get to that spot that it won't matter.
Might have to give Joe C. another assignment right now. Joe C's a baseball guy. Joe C. Myers.
Mm-hmm.
The Marlins will be eliminated from the playoffs by September 20th. After that stretch, what you just said.
So you mean after the 17th, you mean? September 17th.
Well, they'll play the Mets the 18th, 19th, and 20th?
Correct.
At that series, they'll have that letter, whether it's Y or X. You remember when in the newspaper standings when they were eliminated, it was an X, right?
Yep.
X, 20 days from now, Marlins, bye-bye. Sorry, Mr. C. I know he's got tickets on the Marlins. And
I need 11 more wins out of the Marlins.
Oh, geez, you froze. Snap your fingers.
I did?
Yeah. Oh, now you're back. Okay.
11
you need
more
11
wins.
More?
Yeah.
30 games?
Need to get to 11 wins on this team. They play. No, they don't play on 21st. They play but they play October 1st. They've got 30 games left.
No, you need to go 11-19.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's possible.
I don't want to jinx it.
Well,
huge discussion yesterday about the jinx. Did you see how many people commented, viewed the tweet, this and that? They don't think you're a jinx. They just say stop saying the no-hitter thing.
Nonsense. All nonsense.
It's true.
It's nonsense. Hopefully
I never heard someone use the word malarkey so many times. Somebody called me yesterday and said, "What's Perrault saying malarkey for?" I thought that was his word.
Just trying to be nice. Just trying not to be to be well friendly. Because I was dropping about 5 F-bombs on him yesterday. They got to win 3 out of 4 to Washington. If they win 3 out of 4 over Washington, I'll say it's good.
You got a shot.
But if they go 1-3 against Washington, I'm in real trouble. To find 10 more wins, given who they're playing, it's not going to be great.
It's the fun part of September for baseball season win bets. You really start to sweat, but you'll be able to fix that. You'll just bet the other way. You could, if it comes down and you need 2 more wins and they get 3 more games,
right?
You just bet it out the other way, and
right?
You're fine.
You're fine, right? Yeah.
Put it in the chat right now, guys. Do the Marlins get what do you need? 11 more wins? Does
over 76.5? I am over 76.5
wins.
Because my other bet was on the Padres, and that's long gone.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about that one. You don't even have to.
That was gone. That was gone at Memorial Day. That bet was dead.
That goes right in the can.
Yeah, we were gone. That bet was dead. That wasn't going anywhere. So I need the Marlins bet to come on the offside to come in on the
under the number 76.5 for the Marlins. How many wins do the Pirates have right now? I need over 65.5.
Over 65.5.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are currently sitting with 61. Oh, you're there.
Don't say it out loud.
I'm not. Are you seriously? You and I are not going to get along on this crap because I don't subscribe to any of this bullshit. This is complete and total nonsense. Will. This is nonsense. Don't say that. They have an
epic collapse in September. I'm going to remind you about it forever.
Okay,
if they don't
go
get
ahead.
5 more wins, If they
You're
go
good.
4-26 in the last 30,
Do you know what happens?
coming to your
I'm
house,
wrong. That's the only thing that happens. Is I happen to be wrong. There's no mushes and jinxes and superstitions and none of this nonsense. You're like these people who are out there praying at the blue moon last night, going, "Oh my God, that's a blue moon! It's a blue moon. Who gives a fuck? It's a moon." Like what are we doing?
What happened to sorry, Will?
Sorry, Will. I mean, like, it's, do you know this is going to be the last blue moon till 2047? I don't care. Okay. And to drive, Madeline's like, "Can we go look at the moon? It might be blue." I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let's go." And took a drive to go look at it. I was like, "Yeah, it kind of looks," I was like, "It kind of looks blue. It looks blue-ish." And she's like, "I don't know." She's like, "No, it doesn't look blue at all, Daddy. It looks completely the same." I was like, "Oh, all right." And then like once in a blue moon, that's that saying.
Oh, that's what that is.
So because it's the second super moon in a cycle, in a month cycle. So if women are acting all crazy this month, you can just say it's because of the moon.
Can't use that as an excuse. Listen, I'm in the ocean of estrogen. They got enough going on. I can't worry about the moon too.
Just saying that's what last night was. So
is it a full moon as well as blue?
It's a super moon. It's a super moon, not just a full moon. It's a super moon.
Super moon?
Yes.
Isn't that what they do in the Green Bay?
I'm glad you're laughing because this is what you laugh at because it's as stupid as saying someone's a mush or someone's actually causing a
gambling's different.
It ain't different. It's the same nonsense. It's the same tarot card baloney that people subscribe to. It's the same junk.
Did you ever do a tarot card reading?
Like, yeah, like when someone forced me to do it for the hell of it. Like, I don't know. Like some nights. Yeah.
I've never done it. Never had someone.
Yeah, I've seen people do it. I've seen the dumb tea stuff. People read the tea leaves in the bottom of the cup. It's all a bunch of complete garbage.
All them witches are back there in Massachusetts and all
the Wiccan, the Wiccan stuff. Yeah.
What the hell?
My daughter thinks that she's a witch. She's all into this stuff, crystals and.
Oh, you got to stop that. You got to nip that in the bud.
I already trying hard. It's hard when the other person in the other side of it is
I have to
equally pushing it.
Mr. Dave has to have a talk with Maddie. You're not a witch. You don't want to be a witch.
Nope.
It's not a good thing to be a
but she's a good witch. She said it's not a bad witch. She's a good witch.
Oh, Melinda.
Sure.
Or what
yeah.
Was
oh, right. Yeah. Remember that? The good witch. Yeah. What was her name? Was it Melinda?
What was the name of the good witch?
I Dream of Jeannie, right?
No, Melinda, the good witch in the Wizard of Oz. Who was it? Someone.
Oh, she was the white witch.
Yeah.
Her name was Melinda? That was her name was Melinda? I didn't know that.
Belinda with a B.
Belinda, like Belinda Carlisle.
Addison. Belinda.
Belinda Carlisle. Oh, okay.
That's a different Belinda.
Oh, I didn't know that. It was the white witch, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Belinda, the good witch. Glenda. Oh, so Barbie says it's Glenda.
You got it wrong twice.
Sonic said it's Glenda. Is it Glenda or Belinda?
I have no idea. I didn't know her name to begin with. She was just the white witch. That's all I knew her by.
What the hell just happened to the show? It's Glenda. It is Glenda.
Oh, Glenda. Who names their kid Glenda? What a weird name. Wow. So what was the Wicked Witch in the West name then? Do we know? What was her name?
I almost said Teresa. Sorry. Couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
I walked into that one. That was totally not even like. You have to be on the inside to know that joke or the name of my ex. Oh, that was good. I did not see that coming. I should have. That was good. You got me. You got me on that. Wow. All right. Putting the show back on the rails. College football.
Go back to the right. Futek's gonna be here soon.
Oh, he is. That's Hey, Pete, by the way, what I walk into. Sorry. Tonight you got the numbers down to 35.5 for Kent State. Total is way down from 58.5 at the open to 54.5.
Weather play?
I think it's a weather play. I'm following it. I agree with it. I think it also is the fact that Kent is one of the worst teams in college football. They lost a ton in the transfer portal. There's a belief they might get shut out tonight. They may not score. So if they don't score, I don't think you're getting 55 points, 60 points out of UCF themselves.
Oh, man.
Not with the running clock. They'll just run the ball. They'll win the game 40-0 and they'll be out.
Huh.
So that's why I think it's going down, just because you need both teams to score. You can bet UCF team total over if you want an over in the play. But the running clock, the weather, it's not going to be that windy. It'll be breezy. It's going to be wet. I mean, there's going to be off and on showers.
Okay.
Thunderstorms potentially in the area, but it's kind of just like one of those games where just line up, run your base offense, get the win, and get the hell out of there. There's no need to hang a 70 spot on Kent State.
Oh, let me see. I'm trying to find the line history here. What's the team total?
I haven't seen. Didn't look at it for UCF. My guess would be somewhere around 45, 46.
Wow. I don't like the game at all. I don't like anything about this game at all. I see 36 and 55. You know what I see? Problems.
Why?
It's nothing but problems. I don't like laying it. I don't like taking it.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't like over. I don't like under. Nothing about that game. Nothing.
Let's see.
I don't care if it's the first game.
Team total is 44.5. I was close.
Man.
8.5 is the team total for Kent State.
I've said this for years. I'd rather bet the bad teams' totals under than trying to chase 45 points.
Or just go under. Bet the game under.
Yeah,
I got
the problem
56
with
last
that
night.
is if the bad team is as bad as advertised in a game that's lined 36 and 55.
Yep.
You're going to get a punt return. You're going to get a special teams, a kickoff return, a block, something, fumbles all over the place. And then you got to sweat.
Oh, I'm not saying none of these games are going to be easy tonight. These are all going to be, they're all going to be sweats.
One that's easy. It's going to be easy.
Well, we'll see about that. Nebraska's now +7. It may go. There are already places offshore at 6.5. This might get under 7.
And there's already 7.5s too today.
Oh, back up.
Yeah.
Who went back up? I want to take that. Shoot. I took 7 last night.
Superbook, DraftKings.
Wow.
South Point.
Are all at 7.5.
Bet Online just went.
Surprise late move on
WinBet
Minnesota.
is at 7.5. I didn't look at the FanDuel number yet, but
I'm very surprised at that.
That's the bottom. We needed to find the bottom there.
7 was the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 6.5. I saw an offshore this morning at 6.5.
Oh, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
That's good though. Like this is the fun. So this is what they're supposed to do if they're actually trying to book the games. Price discovery. Let's move it. See what happens. Maybe somebody will bet it. Maybe they won't. We'll know. You bounce to 6.5 and boom, immediately, whether it's a bot or a real bet, you jump right back up. So now you know anytime you need Minnesota money, you jump off the 7. We talked about it briefly last night. There's no key numbers. I don't think there's key numbers in college football. Don't be buying half points and all that other stuff, especially if you're buying off of a whole number.
Okay.
Like buy onto a whole number if you got to do it.
Okay.
But don't buy off of it.
Okay. Futek is in the back, so we'll get him up here in just one second. So let's get to one more game that we'll get into. Utah's up to -5. Cam Rising out. Total went from 9.5 down to 4 against Florida. Sorry. Side, excuse me. Side went from 9.5 down to 4 from the side. And then I learned this morning that this is the first game 1 non-conference road game out of the state of Florida for the Gators since 1991. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who would they play? Would they play Miami? They never played them at the start of a season.
Well, if they played at the end of the year, a lot of times, but even if they did, they could play them. That's an in-state team. So that's what I mean. Like you play a non-conference game, Florida State, Florida, Miami, Florida, UCF. Like you play a team in the state. You don't normally would leave the state to go play a non-conference game unless you're playing like an ACC school, but you just don't do that normally at a week 1.
It's a hell of a deal. Like there's not a lot of schools in states where they rarely have to leave. Like we did the college schedules in the summer for a couple of teams, and it was fascinating to see like they play 12 games and they leave the state twice.
Right.
Twice.
It's true.
So I don't know. I'm liking Utah right now, but it's yet to be determined. We'll see more as we get closer.
Oh, I like let's talk to Pete about it because I like Utah a lot tonight.
Oh.
I think Graham Mertz is not a good quarterback. Graham Mertz is. I bet against him enough times when he played for Wisconsin to like betting against Florida and Billy Napier tonight with Graham Mertz. All right, let's see how we can do this.
Ready for this?
He is all ready for this. Let's get him on. He is one Mr. Pete Futek joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Pete, can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you clear. You sound great. Yeah, there's teams like you get into teams in Texas. Like there's like teams that like Texas State that like never leave. Like I know Texas is a monster place, and going to some other Texas school is like the equivalent of going to Hawaii because it's on the other side of the world. But you can fun stat that with some of these places where they have 8 straight games where they don't leave the state for whatever that means. But yeah, there are a lot of teams like that, and yeah, this is gonna be fun tonight. I mean, the thing about Graham Mertz, and it goes for all these transfer quarterbacks. You don't know. And look, at last year at this time, all SEC fans were like, oh, Bo Nix, ha, good luck with that. And the dude turns out to be, almost Heisman calendar. I kind of think DJ Uiagalelei is going to blow up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Mertz is – look, remember, he was a top recruit. I mean, he was destined to be Alabama's quarterback in the whole process. Auburn really wanted him. He was I think there's some crazy stat that he's like the biggest recruit Wisconsin ever got at quarterback. And he was great right away, but the system, that offense. So let's see what happens. The game slows down when these guys get older. They can handle it a little bit better and let them wing it around. Just the different change of scenery. I'm still going Utah on this, but I will not be shocked if Graham Mertz isn't awful.
Pete, where are you at right now?
At the immediate moment, I am running from errand to errand, and I am just trying to outside I will not leave my office for the next 5 weeks at least. So I'm getting everything done as I can right now. Yeah.
So you're in the Midwest, though, right?
I am.
Nebraska is playing Minnesota tonight. All right. Is this a game that's going to tell us anything about this side of the Big Ten? Like, what can we take? This is not going to really indicate anything tonight, is it?
Minnesota's got to – yes, if Minnesota wins destructively, because they've been close. I'm not saying they're going to win the Big Ten title, but they have the makeup where they've been way overdue to getting close to winning the Big Ten West. They've been able to hang with Wisconsin over the years. They can't beat Iowa. Eventually that fever is going to break, but it's been a million years there. And the rest of the West is kind of I mean, Illinois still doesn't have an offense. So if you're Minnesota, Nebraska's not there yet. I don't like anything about the line on this game because I'm too used to watching Nebraska lose every game, 5-3, and then there's some stat that's their 500th game in a row where they've lost by single digits or something.
Right.
So I don't have a handle quite on that. If I have to, I'm going Minnesota. I do like the under, and here's why. The biggest story I'm going to say in all of betting sports, because whoever figures this out first is going to cash in fast. Look at the totals. They all dropped like a rock this week because everyone freaked out over the play clock. And it's true. I mean, these games are now NFL-like, where after first downs, everything is just all of a sudden these games that took 4.5 hours are now flying by. And it's like, wait a minute here. We're in the third quarter already. It's a refreshing watch for the viewer. And who's going to benefit from that the most? The teams that dominate third downs on both sides of the ball, the teams that dominate time of possession, and the teams that can run the ball. And no one did that better overall than Minnesota did. They were among the best teams in the nation at time of possession, amazing on third downs. They're going to power the ball. If they can find any sort of a rushing groove, both sides aren't going to get that many at bats. So I'm loving the under on this, just because I think it's just going to be a grind.
Pete, like, aren't you drinking the Matt Rule juice? Like,
I never did.
Oh,
I never did. I never bought it. I never bought it at Baylor, even though he was fined for a year. Carolina, whatever. That's that's the pros. You either have Patrick Mahomes, or you don't. But he's going to make them better. He is a good coach. I don't mean to dog him that much. And so yes, he will. But they don't have the talent yet. They are going to have a different, better schemes, better skill levels. But I'm not there yet with thinking Nebraska is about to be this offensive juggernaut right out of the gate. They just don't have the guys. And if Minnesota goes Minnesota and pounds away like it can, this is like, 17-10 or something like that. I'll be stunned if this is any sort of a shootout.
Oh, I agree. 17-10 is fine by me because I like the dog. I like Nebraska plus the points. Here's my question, though, because week 1, unders went 4-3, not a dramatic number. And we only saw on average the games were about 3 to 4 plays shorter than what they have been. So really, was there that? I mean, we only have that 7 games.
I heard that stat. I heard that stat from somewhere else. That can't be true.
It's on average. I mean, look at the games because there were some really high-scoring games. I mean, Vanderbilt and Hawaii was a really high-scoring game. USC and San Jose State was a real high-scoring game. So we saw some games that were typical college football type of shootouts.
If you had passing games that didn't always click, and that's going to be sort of the other part of this thing too. Who has the consistent passer? Because those San Diego State USC game, Caleb Williams was great, but they did have a lot of outplays that went out of bounds. You have just a few misfires here and there, which stops the clock. It's just a different stylistic. So you're right. So the games that are going to have the okay passing games, maybe not the elite ones, and that's Hawaii and Vanderbilt was that. Those games are going to feel more normal because the clock is going to stop. San Diego State, Ohio, they played that in like 20 minutes. I mean, because San Diego State just kept running, and all of a sudden they're on like a 9-minute drive, and even then they lost the time of possession battle. So it really is going to be dependent upon the styles themselves. But again, as it was one of those things where I know the stats right. I'm sure I've heard. I would say that would probably be more possessions than plays, but okay. Mm-hmm. But maybe they just sped up the time faster because now. Before it behooved you to kind of slow things down, and now you can speed it up a little bit better because the clock, you get into a little more of a groove. But again, someone's going to go on a 15-minute drive. You're going to get a game where like Army is just going to convert like 7 third downs, and all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, they've got like a 48-minute time of possession battle. I mean, someone's going to do that. So I do think it's going to be game specific. Not necessarily an across-the-board thing.
Can't wait for that. There'll be people immediately complaining about, football's going too fast and everybody's running too much, and the complaints will come quickly. The big game Saturday night, Pete, is Penn State hosting West Virginia. The line has shot up. We had Brad Howe on yesterday talking about it from a West Virginia standpoint. You have any thoughts on that game, either side or total, or something that we should look for? Because Matt is on Penn State season win over. I'm an alumni of Penn State, and I'm really hoping that they can maybe win the Big Ten this year.
Not crazy.
Tell them, Pete.
Well, here's this. Maybe not win the Big Ten, just split. Split between Ohio State and Michigan.
I'll sign for that.
Get to 11-1. Roll the dice. I mean, because I'm a believer that both Ohio State and Michigan are getting in the college football playoff. Well, if I'm also banking on my ideas that Penn State beats Michigan beats Ohio State, they all have one loss, or Penn State probably loses one game along the way. I had to someone else, but like
Ohio
let's
State,
say they do. Yeah. Ohio State, but someone else too. Anyway, like if they're not going to lose to Michigan State, but let's say that
Iowa.
No, don't say it. Neither one of you say this. Stop.
The Iowa game is the game. That's the bet.
Nine
wins, over 9.5 wins is the bet. Is Iowa? They'll beat Iowa. If they don't, they're going to go 9-3 potentially.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go 9-3, but they're too good to not be at least 10 wins good. So a long-winded way of kind of saying, it's week 1. We don't have preseason to go off of. The lines are always off because they're on a guess. I do 133 team preview book reports, so it seems like no one has more info on this. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing here because I'm assuming these teams are gelled, which is why I don't know why you don't schedule Idaho State or Cream Puff Tech or anybody else to start the season just to gel up a little bit. So when in doubt, just go with the team with more talent. Just go with it. West Virginia, they've got the offensive line who's very good. They can pound. They do have guys on NIL money too. They're going to grind it a little bit. All the pressures in the world on Penn State to be amazing right out of the box. But when in doubt early, if you're not quite sure, go with the Power 5 team over the Group of 5 team, and always take the better team because in general, they're just going to obviously more talent, more better right out of the gate.
Let me push back, or at least give a caveat question to that point. So Hawaii and UMass both played in week 0. UMass won the game outright at New Mexico State. Hawaii pushed Vanderbilt on the road. Hawaii's got Stanford at home. UMass is on the road at Auburn. UMass is catching 35 points. Hawaii was catching 7 points. Now they're catching 3. Everyone seems to be on Hawaii at home against Stanford, and the pros like UMass, like I do. Do we have programs with the potential who were so bad last year, UMass, Hawaii, Nebraska, where this transfer portal craziness, they have totally changed their rosters and they could be better than we think?
Auburn, did you watch the UMass New Mexico State game?
Yes.
UMass was awful. They are still a bad team, and yet they somehow got to 41 points. I think they took the ball away a bunch, but
twice, yeah.
They're still not good.
They might not score 41, Pete, in the next 3 games combined.
Auburn is that team. If you want to go in just this game, Hugh Freeze went to the transfer portal. They didn't go Colorado and replace the entire lineup or anything like that, but they had a good base to begin with, and then they upgraded in all these different ways. And I kind of think Auburn's one of those sneaky teams that's going to annoy the hell out of everybody in the SEC. They're not going to win the SEC West. They're not going to do. But that game against Alabama, if you're Alabama, that's the game at the end of the year where, that's Hugh Freeze. That's a team that's got a starting 22 that can run. That's a fast team that I kind of think Auburn is going to be undervalued in all this. And Hawaii, Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt, you're an SEC team. Act like it. Act the part. What are you doing? Hawaii had to fly. And that's the other part of this thing. Hawaii had to fly like a jillion miles to play 6 days later to get Stanford. Right. I don't want anything to do with this game, but it's Stanford. I'm a Power 5 snob. I'm always going to go that way. So I'm always mad at myself when I try to do something different. I'm like, you idiot. Of course the Power 5 teams got more talent. And this year more than any other, because of the transfer portal, the Power 5 have all the good guys from the Group of 5, and they took away Houston, Cincinnati, UCF. So you don't really have a bunch of powerful Group of 5 programs out there right now.
Another game Saturday night, back east, 7:30 start, 4:30 Pacific. North Carolina, South Carolina. It's 2.5. North Carolina's favored. The total 64, Pete. Automatic shootout, right? This has got to be an over. This is going to be one of those games they go back and forth, and Spencer Rattler lights it up, no?
Yeah. Well, this is one of those games where, look, it's a Saturday night game. There's not a whole lot of other big games to watch. You take the over, have some fun. If it doesn't work out, you tip your cap and okay, it didn't work. But of course, North Carolina still doesn't have a defense. They've never had a defense in the Mac Brown era. And South Carolina games are always shootouts and crazy. I don't understand the North Carolina love. I have a theory that, including in the polls, in the AP and coaches poll, if they know who the starting quarterback is, that's an automatic, at least 3 to 5 spot bump. Because I know who Drake May is. They're good. I'm going to break them here. I think the same thing. I don't think people really know Spencer Rattler, as crazy as that is, but he's a pro prospect as well. So I like as long as being a Power 5 snob, when in doubt, go with the SEC, especially as an underdog, except with Florida, Utah. But go in a relatively neutral site game. Yeah, I'll take the South Carolina team, a little bit of an attitude against the North Carolina team that, for all the yay North Carolina doesn't see they don't win games like this. This is the game where that defense gives up 589 yards in the first half and they can't stop anybody. And I will be shocked if it's not a shootout.
All right, better bet. Over 6 wins, South Carolina, or over 3,150.5 yards passing for Drake May.
Both. I mean, South Carolina over 6 wins is kind of tough because their schedule does get nasty.
Yes.
But what did May shoot for last year?
He threw for 4,300 yards last year, and the over adjustment from the books due to the first down clock rule was a monster overreaction to a guy who I think throws for 4,000 again.
Yeah, no, I would say that even though South Carolina's a strong bet to get to 7, I think that's pretty safe. But then, there's always the injury factor. There's always the NFL-itis factor where, I broke my arm. Like, just kind of not my
True.
Go all Jackson Smith and the Jigba on them. But I would say he's because their defense sucks. So they're going to keep bombing away. And I do think it's a way overreaction to the play clock.
Saturday morning, last one for me here, Pete. We'll let you go, or Matt will have one for you. But Colorado is playing TCU. The line's 20.5. I don't think Colorado wins a game. But have you heard, I'm sure you have, that Colorado season wins in the books all over the world?
Yep. Yeah.
Over 3.5 season wins. Dion, everybody. We got a ton of people from the Midwest, and it's still the Midwest people in the Big 12 country. Colorado can't be taken seriously, can they? Are you on board with Dion this year? You want to talk about not knowing anything. What is your opinion either about this game or about Colorado and Dion in general?
Full disclosure, one, I'm a believer that any man over the age of 18 should never be caught wearing a jersey. 2, I do have a Dion jersey in my closet downstairs in my basement from high school and college years.
Florida State one?
I have the Atlanta jersey. I did not get, even though he's my favorite college player ever.
The red or the black one, Pete?
I have the black one, yes.
It's a sharp jersey, Pete. You could still rock it.
I absolutely, I was such a Dion fan. I actually considered buying the Primetime album with Must Be the Money until cooler heads prevailed. That's how huge a Dion fan I was. We don't know, but let's start with this. They assembled an all-star team of good Power 5 players. The depth is questionable because it's all from the portal. But Shedeur Sanders is an NFL quarterback. Travis Hunter might be the best corner in college football when he's not playing receiver. They had the key to them is going to be the lines. I do think TCU's underappreciated. They're going to be very good. They're not going to do that again, but they're still very good. But 20.5 is just a lot. I don't think they're going to be that awful. You look at the Colorado schedule, though, it is brutal. And that includes Colorado State, who's going to do everything humanly possible to knock off the big brother who they are the epitome of the cliche. We can go 1-11 and we'll be happy. If they win Colorado, they don't care about anybody else. So that schedule's a bear. Yeah. So I don't know where those wins are coming from, but 20.5 with a team with all that talent that they amassed, I'm still not 1,000% sure that Dion can coach him up. I'm not that sold on him yet there. But that's a lot of points to be given away in a week 1. So I'd kind of sheepishly go Colorado here.
That's all right. Primetime was my nickname in high school. So
there you go. There you go. Pete, last one real quick. LSU, FSU on a standalone Monday night or Sunday night rather. Big game, obviously, for both programs. Top 10, only 2 top 10 teams playing each other on this weekend. Who do you like, LSU or Florida State?
I will pivot fast, and I completely acknowledge if and when I'm wrong. Florida State's starting the season 2-2. They're losing this. They're losing to Clemson. I'm not buying. You remember, for all the love that they got at the end of last year and that great winning streak, they only beat one team over the second half of the year with a winning record, and it was Syracuse. The bowl game against Oklahoma was 6-7. Florida 6-7. All these teams were kind of meh, and everyone's like, "Oh, Florida State's back. Oh, look at the talent level." They're fine. They upgraded in certain spots of the transfer portal. They're very, very good. They lose to LSU last year. If LSU had the opener against Duquesne and Florida State didn't, so I'm going again. SEC snobbery kicking in here, even though I don't like the SEC. But the SEC, when in doubt, yeah, it's LSU. It's Brian Kelly. It'll be okay. They'll come out and win this. These night games tend to go kind of like you'd think they were. Take Clemson and the points against Duke. We know how those Monday night Labor Day games go. It's 41-3. We know how these things play out. And I will be stunned if LSU doesn't win this game. And if they don't, I will be all in on the Florida State bandwagon.
Pete, great stuff, man. Thank you for the time. I know you're super busy. Appreciate you coming on. We'll do it again soon.
Anytime, you two. Have a great one.
Take care. Pete Futek, College Football News at Pete Futek to follow him on Twitter. Good stuff with him on that. Let's go ahead and do this and do that and do this. And then we're good. And we're back. Good stuff with Pete.
I love when the chat asks if Pete is a ventriloquist when we do the still picture. They ask, is Pete a ventriloquist? It's outstanding.
It's good stuff. From college football to college football playoffs.
Before you move on, I mean, you totally disagree with Pete should wear the primetime jersey. He's 100%.
You know how I feel about jerseys. I don't do jerseys.
I know, but that primetime Black Falcons jersey is money.
Yeah, kind of. I like hats.
Takes you back, though.
I like hats.
That prime
it does take me back,
amazing.
But I never was big on Dion.
No,
he played for 5 teams. He was like he was a wannabe Bo Jackson to me.
In the same day.
I know. He was just a wannabe Bo Jackson to me.
Man, that time in Atlanta when they started doing Too Legit to Quit and Jerry Glanville was wearing all black. I mean, if you didn't like him in college, you had to like him in Atlanta. Then when he went to Dallas, San Francisco was fun. Then he went to the Ravens. Well, why?
Ravens.
Why?
I mean, he just kept on
Stop.
He was a problem. Him and Terrell Owens were problems.
Is it Terrell or Terrell Owens?
That was Terrell Owens.
Terrell
Owens.
I think it's Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens? Oh.
I think so. I don't know.
Either or. I don't know.
What's the chat like if we ask him right now, LSU or Florida State? Straight up.
LSU.
Probably get the majority of LSU. I'm asking the chat right now.
Yeah.
Guys are watching the show.
Oh, wait. We're on the air Monday. Hold on. Game Sunday. Sorry. Tomorrow.
Game Sunday.
Yeah. Clemson's Monday. I'm flipping those games in my brain.
Yeah.
Which is Monday, which is Sunday. For the standalone.
I don't even know what day it is today. Is it Thursday?
It is Thursday. Yes. Today is Thursday. It is. So we'll get tomorrow's Football Friday. We'll do the Sunday game tomorrow. Right. So on that. Okay, so the college football playoffs, they have made the announcement that they are not going to make any changes to the Pac-12 and the ACC until the ACC mess gets resolved. That could be 2 years from now, Dave.
Hold on. What about the mess that the Pac-12 is?
We don't need to do it because the ACC is the real problem. Because the Pac-12 and the ACC merge, that solves the problem. 2 becomes 1.
There's 2 things and one thing keeps coming up on this show. I'm not saying the cup thing or whatever, but 2 and 1. What the hell are we talking
watch
about?
The video because you keep on bringing it up without watching the video. Once you watch it once, you'll be fine. You'll never reference it again.
I don't want to watch it. You told me not to watch it. I trust your judgment. It's bad. So is there a sense of urgency to fix this problem then? Because
it's not a sense of urgency. The TV networks want it fixed. They're the ones who are nervous about this whole thing. They want to know, is it going to fall apart? They have a lot of money invested in this thing working. But if it goes to 8, it changes everything.
Oh.
So that's the worry, that if you contract the ACC and the Pac-12, they go away and we're left with 3 conferences and you have to have an 8-team playoff versus a 12-team playoff with 6 automatic qualifiers like it was supposed to happen. Now what? It's a problem. It's a problem. You got to redo the whole entire thing. All the contracts, all the money, everything is blown up. So that's the worry. So what they've said is stop asking. We'll wait for the ACC to figure this out. Once they get their act together, if Florida State and Clemson, they won't leave this year. They won't leave next year, but they will leave the year after that. I heard this last night.
listening to B. Howe tell that story yesterday of being at the game and the person that went in the room came out and said everything's going to be fine, and then the whole thing blew up? I don't believe none of this stuff. I don't believe none of this. Just for the record, by the way, every single person that answered in the chat, and again, thank you guys, said LSU except one.
Said Seminoles. Yeah, it's the right side. The interesting thing to watch, and I was watching Paul Feinbaum yesterday, and I didn't actually know this. Brett McMurphy said this, that Florida State has calculated that they're losing $30 million every single year to the Big Ten in the SEC by being in the ACC.
Where did he pull that number out of?
I don't know. That's based on payment, based upon everything that goes into the contracts and the deals and everything else. That Florida State is saying that they are losing $30 million that they could be making if they were in the SEC or if they were in the Big Ten. So even if you upped them by $10 million, if you're the ACC, that's still only the third of what they're really looking for. So Florida State and Clemson are leaving. They're going to leave the ACC. It's just, where do they go? Big Ten or SEC? And most likely they go to the SEC.
Yeah. Well, then there's no more ACC.
Correct. That's and then the CFP is dead. That it's dead. Then the college football playoffs are dead, and they'll have to rework the entire thing.
It's dead before it even starts.
They'll have to change. Not dead in the way that like they won't do it. Just the current contract, the way it's structured, will not exist.
We haven't even seen the good part.
Well, it's what we haven't seen a 12-team playoff yet.
Right.
So yeah, it's
whole thing's annoying. Just play the games.
I
just want to talk about the games.
32 teams and 31 shows. Circa Sports NFL Team of the Day, Survivor, and Million. Still, right now, a lot of you have been asking questions. You have to be here in Las Vegas to sign up. Okay, you can hire a proxy, but you must be here physically. No one can do it for you. Not me, not Dave, nobody else. Okay. So you must plan a trip to come here to sign up. $8 million plus. Looks like there's going to be more than that on the table for Survivor. $6 million guaranteed. There might be an overlay in Million, which is 5 picks per week versus 1 pick per week to stay alive. Can't use the same team twice. More information, go to circasports.com to see details on how to sign up and where the numbers are. Cleveland Browns. Oh, Brownie the Elf. Your team of the day. Cleveland last year, 7-10. Win total this year, 9.5. Under -130 is juiced. Reasons to be excited. Deshaun Watson should be much better, you would think.
Yep.
The offense has got a couple of really good wide receivers, a good tight end in David Njoku, and the defense should be improved with Myles Garrett and company. We'll see what they do for Cleveland, but this is another reason to be concerned. They might be the worst team in the division.
In a very good division.
In a very good division, but they might be the worst team in the division. To wait and see on this, but they might be. And what happens if Watson does not return to his Houston Texans form? If he doesn't, for the Browns.
Yeah.
They need him to be very good. Otherwise, they've spent a lot of money on a guy who might not ever show what he flashed when he was with the Houston Texans. So, can we find 10 wins?
I don't think that was the proper use of words. I just want to point that out for anyone.
What did I say?
Show what he flashed in Houston.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Good point.
I think
yes,
in case anybody wants.
He didn't do a lot of flashing though, but yes, I do. He did a lot of coerced people into doing things. So he wasn't just
take
flashing.
A drink of the water and make the schedule graphic.
So,
I'm wearing the Elfie hat.
Just saying.
For you, JC from KC specifically, but
JC from KC is a Browns fan.
He lives in Cleveland.
Yeah, but he's from Kansas City, so he's not a Chief
I
fan?
know, but I mean, when you live there, this is what happens.
What?
I reached out to a couple people from Cleveland today,
okay,
or that have lived in Cleveland. That, you know, when the Browns are bad, they're just pretend like they're not there, and then when the Browns are good, they want to talk about, you know, Brownie the Elf and all this other stuff. He's there. He's referenced Brownie many times in his tweets.
Okay.
And
Can we admit that just go by the bye week, which is in week 5, they're 1-3 at the bye?
Cincinnati lost, lose at Pittsburgh 0-2, win the home game against Tennessee, and then lose the Baltimore game 1-3. Is that where you're at?
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
1-4 start, losing at home to San Francisco.
Can't win that game?
They can, but I don't think they will.
I don't know. I think they can win that game. I'll say 2.
At Indy, win.
3.
At Seattle, win.
Lose.
I think they win. They have 3. Home for Arizona, win.
4.
At Baltimore.
They'll split Baltimore. So they'll.
I like the Ravens win both.
Ravens win both?
Mm-hmm.
Don't the Browns play them tough? They'll win that game.
Yeah.
5.
They always play them tough. They're pissed off at them. Home for Pittsburgh.
Annoying. They'll probably win 6.
Win. I have 5. At Denver.
No.
At LA Rams.
Not sold.
I have 6.
I'll say win 7.
So I have 6. Home for Jacksonville.
No.
Home for Chicago.
Yes. 8.
I have 7. At Houston.
Lose. Him going back to Houston?
Wins. Christmas Eve. How about that present? That bag of coal you can leave at the Texans' doorstep.
Oh, that's going to be a nonstop talking point.
Oh, yeah.
God. I say lose. 8.
I have 8. At home for the Jets.
Win.
9. At Cincy.
No.
9-8.
9-8.
Yep.
What's the season win total?
9.5.
9.5 with the juice under.
Juiced under.
It's either 9-8 or 8-9.
Yep. I agree.
Bottom for this team?
7.
Could be 6 if Deshaun gets hurt. What's
Or
the top?
poorly. What's the top? 11.
I think the top's only 11.
11, yeah.
I mean, the top might be 10.
What do you think that guy says?
What the hell is that?
It's a brown.
Where are my big glasses? I feel like I need to put the big glasses on for that guy. What is that guy?
It's a brown ogre.
Like this.
Evil dude.
Gosh.
Yeah, he's nicer. We like him.
Love this Green Bay guy.
I just like him.
You really like this guy.
Because that guy.
That guy, you don't.
I love that guy.
We're gonna show this guy all season.
Because
this team gets to the championship.
Like, what is that thing?
I don't know why they went with that. What the hell did they do? Did we ever see the Raider? What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's a Raider guy.
That's terrible.
Well, it's better than this guy.
I like that guy.
That guy looks like something out of like a bad SNL skit. What the hell is that thing?
I don't know, but that guy in these glasses, that guy, I'm getting myself a Charger thing.
You do look similar to that guy. That's true. That's pretty good.
Look at that.
You do look somewhat similar
I
to
like that guy.
And that acid
That's
trip
cute.
acid
No?
chip of a dolphin.
That's not bad. What's the Jets? Do we see the Jets?
Did I not? We haven't done the Jets yet, have we? We haven't done Jets yet. Yeah, we'll save it for the Jets day.
This list has the Jets inside the top 10 of all teams in the league.
Yeah. So,
Man, oh man.
roster wise, Aaron Rodgers hype, all the other stuff. So, yeah, Cleveland Browns. There you go for the team of the day. Time to hold your ears, everyone. Careful. Brigade Proxy NFL story of the day. We got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend, a lot of fun stuff going on this weekend for us.
Yeah.
Text us 702-570-8255 to get in touch with us, to be joining the brigade, to be having us be your proxy for the Circa Million, Circa Survivor, or the Westgate Super Contest. Here's the question. Mr. Oddsmaker.
I want to put something out for the oddsmaker people and the FCS games
Are out?
Thursday. are up at DraftKings.
Finally, my
right
gosh,
now.
12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock
They're the
Eastern.
only book, at least on my line screen, that has it out.
Took their sweet old time.
But the extra games are out. So those are out. And
for the
amazingly,
weekend,
everybody came up with Southern Utah at Arizona State is 32 and 53.
Damn.
Minus 32 and 53. Now someone just went to 31 because they're watching the show and they know to be different. It's amazing. Fascinating to me. Everyone put up the Thursday extra games. Now the Friday games, nothing's up yet. So just keep an eye on that for you guys that like to bet that. ODU, where's Old Dominion for Mike?
Norfolk, Virginia.
I know where it's at. I'm trying to find the line.
Oh, this is where it is. That's where the school is.
It's unbelievable. All right, go ahead.
So,
no.
Mr. Oddsmaker,
yes.
Nick Bosa is currently the reigning defensive player of the year.
Yes.
Nick Bosa arguably is the most destructive defensive player in football. We talk about the fact that quarterback
behind TJ Watt, but go ahead.
Bosa is more destructive. Maybe not more important, but more disruptive than TJ Watt is. What do you make if he doesn't play game one? Can a defensive player impact the line against the Steelers?
Where they playing that game?
Your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Old Heinz Field.
Well, he's doubtful.
He isn't under contract, or he's holding out for a new contract.
He's gonna play though. I mean, they're gonna get
He
it
may
signed,
not.
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the line's already down to 2.5.
Can a defensive player move the line?
I'm not going to be the one to say yes. It might happen, but it's pretty rare. I mean, do you think he could
hold out?
No, move the line.
I mean,
nothing moves the line, and
a lot of things move the line that I never understand. So, I mean, I think he could move the line. I don't know what he's worth. Half a point?
Somebody might bet it because he's not playing. Does that mean he's worth a half a point to a point? I don't know how you come up with these things. We got friends writing articles about talking to people, and they put a number on every guy in the league, every starting quarterback, and said what he's worth and what he's worth. And I'm like, man, I don't know how many guys are actually in the rooms doing this stuff. Never had it. Just was. What do you think? What do you think? 4? Yeah, move it. Done. I don't think Bosa. I mean, someone will bet it because he's not playing.
He might play.
That line comes back.
What if he does play?
Stays the same.
Okay,
2.5 to 3. The line's perfect. I think you get a lot of two-way on that.
I think that's one of the best games of the weekend, next weekend. Niners
being completely unbiased, Steelers. I agree with you.
It's an unbelievable game. It's gonna be an awesome game. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. It better be the local game here. Otherwise, Grandma and Papa are gonna be mad.
It won't be.
It's the premier game of the day in the morning session.
Isn't it up against the Steelers? I mean, isn't it up against the Raiders?
The Raiders play in the afternoon.
I thought they're on the road. Oh, they're at Denver. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew they were on the road. I was like, wait, aren't there? Well, no, because that will get blacked out. They don't play unless they're going to play a double header. The morning game here will get blacked out because the Raiders play in the afternoon.
There's going to be a problem in this house with Grandma and Papa.
YouTube TV. Sunday ticket.
They're going to be mad.
That's your best friend. Sunday ticket's your best friend.
Damn, this is going to be a problem.
So, I mean, check your local listings, obviously, but the CBS affiliate here in town, I don't think will have a doubleheader. They might. If they do have a doubleheader, that most likely is the game that everybody will see. But on the West Coast morning time, San Francisco, you know what? That game might be on Fox because isn't it the team? Let me see. I can actually look at the schedule for the Niners, and they should be able to tell us. If it's on Fox, you'll get it. That game is on Fox. You'll get it. Yep, you'll have it locally. Yeah, you'll get it locally. on Fox.
I was just thinking I got to text the wife. We're going to have to go eat somewhere so Pap and Grandma can watch the Steeler game.
Yeah, it's on
the
Fox.
The whole day revolves around the Steeler games here.
That's good.
That would be no good. Oh.
Yeah, so it's supposed to game 1 out of the gates.
Right.
Yeah, so you should get the Fox team. Now, does Fox not show it? I'm guessing they would put San Francisco into this market because it would make sense. Better team. However, the Cardinals do play on the road. The Rams play at Seattle. That's good news. I'm trying to think, who else could they stick into the market in Vegas? The Rams play at the same time as the Raiders.
2, 3,
so
4,
you should be good.
5,
Yeah,
6, 7.
That would make the most sense.
8 games first Sunday for the first session. 8 games.
Do you know they killed the Octobox?
One.
Got in a whole fight with you. I got in a whole pissed off fight with YouTube on Twitter about this. I'm really mad about this.
Was that a bot answering your questions?
Had to have been.
Right?
Had to have been. But
it was annoying. I read the thread. I'm like, man, I'm getting mad and I ain't got nothing to do with this.
It's like, we have 4. I was like, do you have 8? No, we have 4. I don't want 4. I want 8. Do you have an 8 box? Yes, you can watch all 4 games simultaneously. Not asking you about 4 games simultaneously. Will you have 8 games on simultaneously? Because with DirecTV, I had access to all 8 games all at once in the morning session. I watched them all. I love the Octobox. And they're like, yeah, you get 4. So I better get 2 versions of the Octoboxes, but here's the one thing. They should allow us to customize it. So hopefully eventually we can customize the quad box and pick which 4 games we want to watch. If you pick, because the DirecTV would pick it for you. They would do a 4 and an 8.
Right.
And they'd pick it for you. Now, the 8 was almost all the games normally. It was always a couple of weekends where 9 came in occasionally, and you have that little like weird hook. But more often than not, you had the all 8 games, sometimes 7.
Yeah.
So I'm mad about that, but that'll be for a rant next week when I get pissed off when we get closer to NFL football kickoff, and I'm going to be mad about that. But YouTube can do it. They just don't. I don't know why they don't do it. They could do it. They're just choosing not to do it for some dumb reason.
Oh God.
Only DirecTV people understand. Only gamblers understand, because we want all 8 games. And someone's like, "Oh, why do you watch all 8 games?" It's like, you have bets on all 8 games? Because like, not necessarily on the game, but I've got prop bets on pretty much 7 of the 8. I'll have a guy playing of either a side, total, prop bet, something going. Yes. Like, I'll have a lot going on that day.
You're not doing any fantasy leagues, are you?
I was asked to do one over the weekend. I probably won't do one. I don't know. I mean, I may be betting. Fantasy Pros, the sister of Betting Pros, right, is doing $1 million contest, and they've said that they want me in the contest.
Right.
So I might be doing that. That's a season-long fantasy football thing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not good at it. I don't pay attention enough. I don't care, really.
It's for, that's what the Octobox people like too, is fantasy.
Yeah, of course.
See all the
prop betting, fantasy, of course. Yes.
Watch all that stuff.
I don't, everyone's like, we'll just get Red Zone. I don't like being told what I got to watch. I don't need Scott Hansen.
You don't really like being told anything. Let's
true,
just
but
be
I don't like that. Scott Hansen dictating what I want to watch. I may not care about the game that he thinks is all. Everyone's like, oh, Red Zone here for the Texans and the Chiefs. I don't care. I don't have any money on it. I don't care about the game. I don't have any players going. I want to watch a game that I care about, because there's a play where a guy might go over his, yardage or receptions or whatever. Right. Yeah. So that's why I like the 8. I will be a salty character 10 a.m. Sunday morning on September the 10th. I'm not going to be happy.
What if you just get another TV?
Well, I can do that, but I haven't totally man size my living room. Like I don't want it to be that aggressive. I could do that.
Right.
Or I could have it on my laptop and have it on my TV.
There you go.
But I like it all in one. I like it all in one. So I don't know. I do need to buy a new TV. I do need to get a bigger TV, and I need to get it because the processor for my TV is slow. And so I need to get a better TV because I just need a faster processor as everything is going to streaming. So I got to be able to do. It's annoying enough that the delay is enough on YouTube TV just because of the delay loading it pisses me off.
Right.
So I can't get out of it either. Like it takes a while to get from app to app. Is a pain in the ass.
You know what else we could do, right? Just run right over to the Rampart and watch all the games.
And I very well might do that. That's maybe
literally just run over there and watch the whole morning session and then go home and watch the afternoon games.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not going to have Madeline on Sundays, so it's going to be, much easier for me to do that. So I very well might do that. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't determined can you smoke in the Rampart?
Not in the book.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least
not in the book. But I mean, you can write on the other side of the book area. You can. So it might linger, but
how are their TVs? Are they better than Are they better than Suncoast?
The main TVs will be. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Suncoast TVs.
Suncoast
TVs need to really
yes,
they gotta
yes.
Like the Mirage, like some of these books in Vegas, like you have got to.
They're not upgrading. They're not.
What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? It's time to step into the 2023s. Your TVs are ancient.
Well, I can't wait to see.
Have you seen Aliante's TVs, by the way? Have you ever gone to the TVs at Aliante in North up by you are the oldest TVs in the city?
They haven't changed one thing since it opened. They haven't changed one thing in the whole joint
unbelievable
since they opened. But like at the M, we were state of the art when we opened Cantor Gaming. Then it became Caesars William Hill. They didn't change one thing. The bulbs went out in the one big screen.
Whoa.
When I was still there, they haven't changed it. They didn't change it.
Wow.
So like the bulbs were really expensive. It's a gigantic, movie size screen on both sides of it. It's out. It's been out. Now ESPN Bet is with Penn Gaming. I'm assuming they're going to go change it all.
Yeah, they have to.
Like after the show today, I'm going down to the Venetian.
Okay. See Yahoo Sportsbook?
Yahoo Sportsbook branded because I used to work there. That had a state-of-the-art TV wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can't wait to see what they did with it because I think they done with the whole thing.
Did they move it or is the book in the same place?
Going to find out all the details.
Yeah, it looked like it moved. I was going over it with somebody. I was looking at it going like, I think they moved it. I don't think it was in the same spot.
I will find out and have all the details. I will report back tomorrow.
Okay. Because I'm sure as hell not driving down there on a Sunday morning. I'm not going near the strip. For September, October, November, you couldn't pay me to go down there.
Sunday, yeah, it's going to be rough. But I mean, Sunday you got to go early, and you're parked. You're good. Moving around, it's not happening.
No, thank you.
Not happening.
No, paying for parking there and everything else that they're doing. No, thank you. Not interested in that. Today's a big day.
Even if we get a VIP setup?
Once or twice, sure. Consistently, no.
Might be able to get a VIP setup with the Brigade.
Well, once or twice, sure, but not consistently, no.
That's fine.
Fanatics is taking over PointsBet today. First day, officially, the first part of their contract kicks in. They take over. They're not rebranding. Why not?
In case things don't go right. Still playing PointsBet. It's transition. Once everything goes right, then you can rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what I thought when I read it. What did you see?
I think there's some regulatory questions as to how they do it, and so they'd rather not deal with it before football.
Yes.
And they'd rather just leave it alone and just say, hey, we're going to keep operating. They change some of the back end stuff, like it's PointsBet operating on behalf of Fanatics.
Yep.
It's like who is responsible for the book, but they're still using the brand, so they're operating under the PointsBet umbrella.
Yep.
I do think there's something to be said for that, but they thought they were going to be open before football season.
They did.
In every state. They thought they'd have a rebrand or they'd have PointsBet available in 15 states. Now they're saying 15 states by the end of the year. They keep on pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back as to what they're going to wind up doing. They did open up their flagship in Ohio, their flagship sportsbook in Ohio. So Fanatics has done that.
Where's that? Do you know?
I think it's in Columbus.
Is it?
I think so.
Send Brother Doug to go check it out.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw it.
If you guys in Ohio, which we know you are because we got a report of different states of people listening and watching. Thank you guys for that. If you go to Ohio, to the Fanatics book, report back here to the Brigade because I'm curious what it's like. Because I went to the Barstool one in Ohio, in Columbus, with brother Doug. Now, granted, it was the summer. It was nice. I mean, but again, I'm not the customer. I've been here 20 years.
Right.
I see. I can't help it. Like when you know something so well, or you've seen it from ground up and all this other stuff. Like I see what's wrong before I see what's right. I'm looking, and that just comes with being a kid of an entrepreneur. My dad owned a business. He always saw what needed fixed or what was wrong before he saw what was right. Apple don't far from the tree.
For you guys, big business, I just saw that. If you guys want to throw your super chats in there for bonus time, feel free to do that.
Oh, he did one?
Yeah, we'll get to some.
Oh,
we'll get to some topics for bonus time.
Big business.
A little bit later in the show. Once we are wrapping up here, we probably get the whole show in here for Sports Grid and then do bonus time with those questions. So super chat away if you want right now, and we'll get to those topics. He has a baseball question that he wants us to tackle. You have a college football question for the weekend or tonight. Go ahead and fire, and we'll get you set up with that. Okay,
that one's gonna get me. That one's gonna get me. I wish I had a button that just said warning, something, anything.
Oh, you mean the rundown?
That one gets me.
It's kind of on the rundown, so you would see what the next topic is after we do the Fanatics topic. Would be better to book it. So if you wish you had a warning, the warning is on your screen that I send you every day. So you have a warning.
I have it right here.
All right. Better to book a time.
You skipped something.
No, I didn't. I skipped. I told you we weren't going to do the Vegas stories because there's not enough time.
All right. I thought the whole Golden Knights win thing was fascinating.
Oh, well, we can do that if you want to do that. That's fine. We got time to.
It's fine. We could discuss it in the bonus time if you want. I just thought it was another example of a local team
hurting the books.
And I was like, oh, that happened all the time. The local bookies used to cry, and I'm sure there were Boston or New England guys who got destroyed while the Patriots were winning Super Bowls, and they hate Belichick and Brady to this day because of it. So
the number is what Dave's referencing is that Vegas did not have a very good month of July, and the reason is the future wagers got cashed. People waited. They didn't run to the window. They came in July, first weekend, July 4th, whatever. And they all had Golden Knights tickets and they all cashed it.
Yeah.
And so the books, it didn't kill them, but it did not help.
Cut into the margins a lot.
Yeah.
Now, in that regard too, you have to know, it tells me a little bit like, they took positions against the Knights as well.
Because of what happened the first year.
Yeah.
They felt comfortable.
Yeah. And
history will repeat itself.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
And then it didn't.
No, it did not. Yeah.
By the way, the entire cast off from the Angels are now signed to the Guardians, basically.
Really?
Yeah, all three of them. They went together. Matt Moore, Giolito, and Lopez. Two other Angels were also claimed. Hunter Renfroe and Dominic Leone were also claimed.
To the Guardians too?
To the Guardians. The Guardians.
All five of those guys?
Yep. After punting on the season, the Guardians suddenly went, oh, no, wait, we're only 5 games out. And they're like, you're you. They grabbed them all. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
3 pitchers said they all wanted to go together. All right. Better to book a time. If you are new to the program, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. It's football season. Now, some people come on for the first time. You come on new. If Dave likes it, he bets it. If he doesn't, he books it. Bets I have made overnight last night. These are bets that I have already placed. Dave will say whether he likes it or not. Under 56, Central Florida and Kent tonight.
I can't stand this game. I can't believe you have this game as one of your choices. I'll say book it.
Why can't you stand the game, though?
Because of the number. There's just sometimes I have no interest in a 33. Wait a second. Is it 36? No, it's 33 and 55.
Right.
Ugh. I'll let you take your shot.
Is it down to 33? The side?
36.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the side.
Yeah.
55 is the total.
Okay. I was going to say, that'd be a whole field goal difference. That'd be tremendous.
It's coming to 35 and a half right now. They're moving it. I mean, first game out, you're supposed to bet this.
Under
I don't
or this
think, I
bet?
don't. Yeah, it's Kent State's score. If Kent State gets double digits, you're going to lose. If
Yes.
Kent State stays single digits, you're probably going to win.
I don't know if UCF is going to throw the ball all that much when they're up 40-0.
Right.
I think they run the clock out. I think this is where the clock in the new rule comes into play.
Right.
In blowouts.
Yes.
When teams are just going to run the ball, the clock is just going to be on a speedometer, just going to go, 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 and the game's going to be over.
Right.
Versus first down, stop, reset the clock set, go. Like, I think Army, Navy, like Pete Futek said earlier today, I agree. When two teams run the ball a lot, the game's going to be a blink. It's going to be 2 seconds. But like I said before, bet Army, Navy now. Bet the under now, whatever it is. Find a number, bet the under. But I don't know what to make of this game because I think blowouts could also be quickly played because of the fact that the running clock's in play.
Yep.
So that's why I like under 56.
I'll say book it only because they may put up a 50 burger. It's 50
That's
to 17.
Fine. 50-0.
You know, something like that gets you over.
Yeah, I need 50-3. That's what I need.
There you go.
For that to hit. I am disagreeing with Pete Futek. I do not like Minnesota. They lost Tanner Morgan. They've lost a lot of talent on offense. They still have a good offensive line, but I think Matt Rule is right where he needs to be. And I love coaches that come back to the level that they're supposed to be at. I don't mean college. I mean in the underdog role. At Temple, Matt Rule was a betting machine when he was a dog. He was tremendous at Temple. He does the us versus the world thing really well with college kids. I'm not a big PJ Fleck fan anymore. I think the row the boat thing was cute for a while. It hasn't really panned out well in Minnesota for him. And I think Nebraska's got a lot to play for here. I don't think that they win the game. But like Pete said, it's game number 10,000 in a row that Nebraska loses the game by 1 score. Huskers +7.
I'd say bet this one. Again, I don't know enough about either side. And with the first time, not a first time coach, but a first time coaching this team and these kids could go sideways quick. They could win the game. Anything in between can happen. So take 7 in a game that's 43. Yes, do it.
Husker fans are like gaga for this. If they go from setting the world record with women's volleyball last night to Nebraska football, opening up 1-0. Go Big Red's going to be a very happy group. They're going to be a very, very happy group. They're going to be walking up and down the street yelling Go Big Red at each other. So we'll see. I don't think they win the game, but I think Sims at quarterback is going to be very interesting. And I think we saw it with Hawaii. We saw it with UMass. And I disagree with Pete, by the way. I think Scott Frost could recruit. Scott Frost couldn't coach. There's talent in Lincoln. They've had 4- and 5-star kids that they've signed, that Scott Frost signed.
5-star kids don't mean anything if they can't play.
They can play, though. They're talented. They couldn't get coached up. They had the wrong coach. Couldn't make in-game adjustments. Couldn't make game day decisions. Could not handle the adjustments needed. That's why they lost every game by 1 score. They were in every game. They had a coach who didn't know what button to push to win a football game. I think Matt Rule's the guy who can do that.
Oh, man. What do you guys think in the chat? I just looked down on the chat. Stevie Mack is off work early and came back in the chat. So we're bringing back all the band, putting the whole band back together. Stevie Mack, welcome back to the show live. Appreciate you being here, brother. Minnesota -7, Nebraska +7. Chat.
Are there 7.5s now out there though?
Oh, half the board 7.5.
Okay.
There's actually let me hit refresh. There's only 1 7 left in the world right now.
So there's late money. The late push is coming in on the home Gophers.
It's just bounced between 7 and 7.5. It's a damn dream when you're working in a book. That's great. That's good 2-way. Okay. 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 at FanDuel too. Game go over or under?
Under. Both teams run the ball
without much success getting in the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, even with
falling in the 20s and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's like a 2017 final. Either way.
It's a compelling game. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that's on either way. I think it's a 27. And it could be
Wow.
17. What?
Nebraska money line.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think like 2017 in the game's last second field goal, either team wins it. I think it's very possible. Like it's 17-17 in the fourth quarter.
How do you feel about the college football overtime?
I don't like it, but I don't have the same like hatred for it that I have for the Ghost Runner. Both teams touch the football, so that's it's better than the NFL.
Yeah.
So at least you give both teams equal chance to score from the 20. From the 20.
Just
it's fake.
Making up the rules.
Don't get me wrong, it's fake. I'm with you.
Want to make sure.
At least both teams. It's not right. I don't like it, but at least both teams touch the football. That's better than what the NFL does, and it's actual football. It's not like they're playing 9-on-9. So they're actually playing football. They're just playing. They're taking out special teams off kickoffs, and they're not doing that.
Putting a team in immediate scoring position.
Correct, which is very similar to baseball. I would agree with that. You're manufacturing offense. You're putting them in a scoring position, yes. But both teams get a crack at it. I don't love it.
Both teams get a crack at it.
But I don't hate it as much as I hate baseball with the Ghost Runner.
All right, just want to clear that up.
But I do. I do dislike it though. I do.
What's
dislike
the next game?
Utah laying 4.5 to Florida. Betting it or booking.
Bet this.
So I equally disagree with, again, Pete Futek. I don't like Graham Mertz. I don't think it was coaching entirely. And I'm not sure Billy Napier really has a roster right now that can walk into Salt Lake and take on the Utah Utes on their field and beat them after they lost a heartbreaker last year. And that I know it's a backup quarterback, but I went back and watched the Penn State game. I don't know if you watched the end of the Penn State Utah Rose Bowl last year, but this Bryson kid played. And he looked pretty good. Now, it was scrub time. It was against backups, but just his overall mechanics, the way he looks, the way he runs, he looks competent. And the team already said before even Cam Rising was ruled out that the kid was going to play tonight. They were going to split reps.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he was going to play. He was going to play. Kyle Whittingham was going to play. And I just think, I know Florida's an SEC team, so this is going to make people go, oh my gosh. But I think Utah is a smash mouth, crazy football team to play, and playing them at home. I think Florida gets run over tonight.
Double-digit win?
No, I mean, like, they're going to run the ball down their throats. It might be a 7-point win, but they're going to run the ball down their throat.
Wow.
I don't think Florida stops the run. I don't think it matters too much who the quarterback is in my mind. I think Florida's going to have a tough time stopping Utah's running game.
Wow. Okay.
They just are a tougher smash mouth football team. And when you play them at home, this is a Kyle Whittingham's dream. This is every kid in Utah who's even thinking about going to either Utah or going somewhere else in the West. You're going to watch this game and you have an SEC team go into your place. You get this such a rare opportunity for a program like Utah to get a SEC team to come to their building in Salt Lake City. I can't see Florida walking in there and winning that game.
Wow. Okay.
Just too difficult of an environment.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I like Utah just on what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing. I agree with Pete because Pete said it multiple times. We don't really know. We don't really know yet. We're not sure. And this guy writes a preview on every team.
But Pete has opinions, though. What I love about why I love bringing Pete on is that a lot of guys who do what Pete does won't take opinions on things. Well, Pete will say that's bad. You suck. You're great. Like he'll take opinions on stuff, and even on his website, he'll take opinions on things. He's wrong all the time.
Right.
It's great. I was wrong.
But he just tells you what he thinks.
Yeah, he goes, I was wrong. Oh well, I was wrong. Like it's not a big deal. He just throws his hands up, and we're all good.
Well, that's so work for gambling Twitter, by the way.
Yeah. He's been doing it. He was one of the forefront guy. I've been talking to Futek for 20 years. I mean, he's been doing college football betting for a long time. Like I love the OGs. I love the guys who have been doing this stuff and writing about gambling for a long time because gambling Twitter to them, they could care
Doesn't
less.
matter. Who cares?
They could care less.
Yes, that's how we're doing it.
Right.
We're not doing the show for gambling Twitter. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And if you're on gambling Twitter and you're watching the show, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Thank you.
And if you don't watch the show and you see the clips and it's funny, make a comment. Otherwise,
best of luck.
Yeah. It's not for you.
Not for you. So bet this
Bet this.
All right, we're going to bet this. Very cool. All right, for you guys who are on YouTube and on Twitter, do not move. You guys are getting bonus time. For you guys on Sports Grid, thank you. Tomorrow is a Roll Call Friday. Hopefully we see you all back here, same place, same time, for a Friday's RCF BVB. Bonus time now. All right, favorite thing about today before we get to some story time with Big Business's question.
So I take Kendall to the bus stop now in the morning. The way this situation is here with people up and not up and stuff, I get to go and take her, sit in the car at the bus stop until the bus gets there.
Mhm.
And we're listening to DJ Thump in the morning show and all this other stuff, and the music comes on and there's a commercial. I don't know if you're aware, but LL Cool J and Friends.
You keep on talking about this, yes.
The tickets have been bought.
Oh, no.
LL Cool J with special guests The Roots, Rakim, DJ Jazzy Jeff, DJ Z Trip, Salt and Pepper, and Ice-T at the Grand Garden Arena Saturday night. We're going.
Do you have seats? Or are you on the floor?
I said to get the seats.
Okay.
I said to get the seats because we're taking the whole gang.
Oh my! The whole family's going.
The whole fam.
Oh my gosh!
And
do they know any of the songs?
And my wife mentioned it to one of her coworkers, who said, "Oh my God, I want to go too." So it's me and 5 women.
Oh my gosh!
Going, and I told them we're all wearing Kangol, and they're like, "No, we're not." And I'm like, "Yes, we are."
Don't blame them.
So we're in huge debate, and I know I'm going to lose.
You're going to lose, yes.
But I'm already planning to go. I may look exactly like LL Cool J with a Kangol from one of the early videos. When he sings "Going
Not
Back to
exactly,
Cali," I
but
might start crying. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Well,
That's
hold
what-
on though. You got to realize, that they're all going to play like 4 or 5 songs each, right?
Don't rain on my parade.
I'm not rating. I was telling you, it's going to be. It's just very quick. It's a hour and a half, 2-hour show with all those acts. So you might not hear the songs you want. Just
I don't want to hear that right now.
okay. Just be prepared.
Tickets, please.
Just be prepared. That's what you say. Have fun. Just don't go in there with any expectations for what songs you're going to hear, because then you're going to walk out and be like, "Man, he should have played."
Play "Going Back to Cali." No,
why? He didn't have to. No,
please.
that's my point. You don't get. That's the people do it all the time. They go to these shows and they walk out disappointed because it's an all-star. Look at it like an all-star game. You aren't going to see your favorite player have 4 at-bats at an all-star game.
You put it saying this right now. I was so excited. I got the text from her.
Enjoy it. No, have fun. I'm
And
not
now-
afraid. I'm just trying to make sure you go in there with a good mindset so you don't go disappointed. That's all.
The expectations will be here, but I was like, immediately upon hearing the commercial, when I sent it to Jessica, I thought it would be a date night because
Right. Yeah.
those are all the I was like, oh, this will be fun. I'll
Yes.
take her out to dinner, and then we'll go, and
It'll be
do a
fun. Yeah.
little moving.
So
Yeah.
she wanted the girls to come.
Well, I put it in the family group thread, and thinking the kids would be like, "Yeah, we don't want to go. That's Daddy's music."
Right.
Well, when Mama said, "Well, that sounds fun," something happened, and everybody's coming,
Oh,
including friend Amber.
very nice.
I mean, one other guy would have been great to go with me.
I'm
so we
not
could be
going.
miserable. I'm not. I didn't get you a ticket. I
Good.
didn't think you'd
I'm
like
not
the music. I mean, that's just saying. But like, Big Business was here, he'd go.
Oh, okay.
100% Rainmaker Lou would go.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's the boys. Somebody would go
Yeah.
just to deflect the angst that's going to go on, because
What angst?
They're going to be like, this sucks.
No, they're
This
not.
music.
No
this,
way.
that.
Disagree with you. I completely disagree with you. They will have the kids are going to have an absolute ball. Completely and totally disagree with that
Oh,
opinion.
I hope you're right.
No, they will
Me and
have.
Jess are going to have a blast.
It's impossible when you're around positive energy. It's impossible for you not to be infected unless you are an absolute miserable person and your 3 kids are not miserable.
Thank you.
So they will enjoy themselves. They will catch on fire, whether you like the music or not. The throwback walk down memory lane, nostalgia in the air, they will get entirely. They will get it.
What else are they going to have in the air that's going to?
Well, that's Vegas, so it's. I mean, that's
crap.
Okay. That's Las Vegas. You're going to get it. Yes.
LL Cool J and friends at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Contact High is going to be a real thing, without a doubt. Yes,
be a real thing.
Yeah, you're going to be covered and surrounded by that, so you're not getting away from that. That's just reality. Like that's just you're walking into the lion's den on that, and that's as long as everyone understands what's about to happen, you'll all be good. But it'll be like I saw it at Taylor Swift. Like I like Taylor, but being around these people who were so happy,
it's fun
to be in her presence. And I mean, it was just for so many of these women between the ages of like my daughter 9 all the way up to like 60. It was impossible not to feel it. Like it was the happiest place on earth. Like this was the most amazing emotional experience for watching these people just have a common, like my daughter sat with this woman next to us who was a complete stranger and made friendship bracelets while the first acts were on.
Right.
And they were making them when she was handing them out to all these different people. And it was like she had an absolute ball.
How much fun is that?
It was so fun. It would for the rest of my life, it'll be a highlight of my life that I will talk about forever, that we got a chance to do that.
Exactly.
And so I think I disagree with the kids I think they'll have a ball. I mean, they know how to, those artists that act, they know how to put on a show.
That's what I mean. Like I went to see MC Hammer and Tone Loc and stuff a few years ago, and I'm standing there. And we had a box. So I was with one of my friends who had a box. Albie Shore walked in.
Okay.
I know I used to walk and run the Albie Shore songs. I could do all the songs. I'm like, Albie Shore? He's like, yeah. I said, I'm Dave. We start talking. We exchange phone numbers. We take pictures, all this other stuff. Then I go out that night for dinner at the Pepper Mill, and Ice-T is there.
Nice.
And I meet him and his wife, go over, say hello, take pictures, all this stuff. It was my wife and I still talk about it to this day because one, she can't believe that I'm hanging out with all these guys and taking pictures because I just go right up to them, say, hey, do you mind? And they can't wait to do it. So I want the kids to experience that. So I hope you're right that they get it because it's going to be fun.
I'm not worried at all. I think it's going to be very, very cool. I think you're going to enjoy yourself a ton. Yeah. My favorite thing about today is that we get to do these awesome, really fun, you guys get to ask questions. Big business. Let's answer your question.
What do we got?
Question for bonus time. Right now, I'm seeing the Mariners at plus 215 and the Rangers at plus 300 to win the division. I think this Rangers team is done. He's a Ranger fan. But I also don't think that Houston should be minus 105 either. Who do we like? Rangers, Mariners, or Astros to win the division before we start September?
Ranking them right now and not having gone through the schedule yet in September, Houston should be the favorite. Seattle should be right where it's at, and Texas. I would be looking to get Texas money right now.
Okay.
I would have it a little higher. So pick them +2, +4, something like that. So they're playing around with the numbers. I don't know what the whole percentage is, and I don't know what their position is going into September because a month ago, Seattle was dead. I mean, there were 10 games out.
Yep.
So things can happen fast, but I kind of agree with Big Business that Texas is done. Not done, but like it's going to take everything going right for Texas and not a collapse, but a backwards trend for both of the other teams. Like, do you have an opinion that who wins that division right now?
Houston. I've been saying it for months.
Yeah, you have. You've been on that. You have said that.
So, I mean, I was talked off of it by myself going, oh my God, the Rangers are going to win this thing. But I thought Houston in April, I thought Houston in May, I thought Houston in June. I wavered in July.
Yeah.
End of August, I'm back on Houston. I think Houston wins the division. So would I bet Houston? Yes, I'd bet Houston to win the division.
Floodhouse, welcome to the chat, sir, has a Mariners World Series ticket at 70-1.
And they could get there.
Man, oh man. No rapper can rap quite like I can. I'll take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand. That's what I'm talking about, Sven. Gunderson. in the chat, just type that lyric. Getting so excited.
Who is that? Is that an actual lyric or no?
Yeah, that's an actual lyric. Oh, man. I can't. We better play Going Back to Cali, please. Rock the Bells. Huh.
God, this town gets more and more scary by the day.
What happened now? I hate when you do that. What?
A woman stabbed her blind date in the neck inside a Vegas hotel room in retaliation for a U.S. drone strike in Iran because she said she was hallucinating and believed she was in an episode of Homeland.
End the show right now. End the show. Before you find something else. Just wrap this shit up.
That's lots
I got you good with the Wicked Witch.
Yeah, I was not seeing that. I should have saw it. I didn't see it. And I was like, oh no, he said it. Yeah.
I can't wait to rewind that.
Oh no.
That part.
Oh no.
Your face went.
I will not be tweeting that out. That will not be a clip from the show. We will not put that out into the world.
Don't need to.
Yeah,
watch the show.
We played during a court. 2 years from now, it's getting played in a courtroom.
No,
so let's not.
Mr. Sharapan, what did you mean by that? I don't even know what you're talking about. Talking about the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Why did you say that name? I don't know.
Yeah, Mother Teresa. Tomorrow, Roll Call Friday. We will see you guys back here, same place, same time for the live show on replay on Sports Grid, and we're counting it down Tuesday. Remember, on Tuesday, we start on Sirius XM, channel 159 for the show. Replay with us on Sports Grid, channel 159, TV and radio simulcast starting on Tuesday, September the 5th. Dave, Matt,
we'll be on the grid tonight.
We will. Me and you
Tell
tonight.
We'll be on
9 p.m. Pacific time. Eastern, sorry. 6 p.m. Pacific.
6 p.m. Pacific.
So 9:30 for you. Watching college football together. Should be fun. I'll see how my bets.
Utah will be kicking Florida's ass by that time.
But your words. Let's see it happen. Talk